Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kisha. I blog over at the Glamorous French Housewife blog, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my broccoli salad. So have you ever tried the broccoli salad from Walmart? It is so delicious. It's about $5 a pound, and it's really simple to make. Now, there's a couple variations to this that you can do if you'd like, which I will explain along the way. You're going to need some fresh broccoli, about, 4 or 5 cups. I just bought the florets. I gave them a quick rinse off, and we will chop those up in a minute. You're also going to need 1 red onion, a pound of bacon. I'm just using the Applewood smoked bacon. You're going to need a half a cup of sugar. Now, I have friends who have used a sweetener substitute, so feel free to do that if you wish. You're going to need a couple tablespoons of some white wine vinegar, 1 cup of mayonnaise. You're also going to need 1 cup of sunflower kernels, and these are, already measured out in my bowl right here. And you're also going to need 1 cup of raisins. You could definitely use golden raisins. These are just the California raisins. That's what I have in the house. But normally I like the golden raisins if I have those. Now also some shredded broccoli cabbage is great to add with this. If you remember to get it. I forgot mine at the store. So this is what's in the house. Now you can change it up in so many ways. You can definitely use the mayo that's made with olive oil to be more healthy. A sugar substitute, you could definitely, use Splenda or whatever you would like. You can change out the raisins. You can always change out the sunflower kernels for either walnuts or any kind of nut that you like. And you can either change, the onion to a white onion, a yellow onion, whatever, you have in the house. So this is really simple. The first thing you want to do is get your bacon frying and then get your broccoli cut up. So I'm frying the bacon in like a deeper pan just to help eliminate some of that, splattering from the bacon grease. But you could also use turkey bacon if that's something you would like to do. It would definitely make it a little more healthy. But another thing is I like to go ahead and use chicken shears or even a really sharp knife and go ahead and cut up the bacon before frying it. I find it makes it so much easier. And I'm just going to, get this nice and crispy, a little bit chewy at the same time, and take it out and let it cool. So the bacon is done and cooling, and I have went ahead and sliced up all the broccoli. Just really run your knife through it. Remember, it's going to be eaten cold, so you don't want really big pieces. I did the same with the red onion. And remember, this can kind of be like a base, and you can build your broccoli salad how you want it. You could definitely use green onions, like some scallions, if you don't really want a big onion taste. Red onion is still pretty mild, but the Vidalia sweet onions taste amazing too. And if you only have a white onion, that totally works. This is a very versatile recipe. You're going to need some type of bowl to mix everything in. I just have a plastic one here, and we're going to add the bacon, the broccoli, and the onion. So here it is, the broccoli, the bacon, and the red onion in the plastic bowl. We're going to add a cup of the sunflower seed kernels, a cup of raisins. Remember, you could use golden. A half a cup of white sugar. You could use a sugar substitute if you wish. 1 cup of mayonnaise. Be sure to measure it out. And 2 tablespoons white wine vinegar. You could use white vinegar if that's all you have. And then you're going to mix it up really well. So here it is. Doesn't that look divine? I did add about a half a cup extra mayonnaise just to make ours just a little bit creamier. But you can certainly make this recipe any way you want. You can use the mayonnaise and the sugar and the broccoli as a base. You can use golden raisins instead of just, the regular raisins. You can add egg. You can add any kind of nut. My friend loves to add cheese. I don't really add it to this recipe, but I have before. And this is perfect for any church function or any spring or Easter, activity or luncheon you have going on, or maybe you're serving a brunch. This is one of those salads that you can make in so many different ways, and it's perfect for spring or summer. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm serving it up tonight for dinner with a grilled chicken sandwich. If you want to see that, just keep watching, and I'll show you how we're serving it tonight. But first, I'm going to cover it and let those flavors kind of, mingle together, and I'm going to make our sandwiches next. So to go along with that broccoli salad that we just made, I'm going to be making very quick, easy grilled chicken sandwiches. So all I'm using is some of these very thin sliced Tyson chicken breasts, and I got like a rustic old loaf of bread. I'm going to be basting the chicken with some of the Simply Dressed champagne vinaigrette, but you don't have to use this. You can use whatever you have, or you can baste it with some balsamic vinegar, or you can just do salt and pepper and a little olive oil. It's whatever you like to season up your chicken breast. I have a couple tomatoes for the top, some Grey Poupon Country Dijon mustard, a little mayo, some baby spinach, but of course you could use spinach instead. I have a half an onion softening on the stove right now, but that's because Scott and I like onion. But if your family doesn't like onion, then definitely, you could skip that. But Jackson's sandwich will not contain it. And then I have just a little bit of mozzarella cheese to top the chicken breast with. And I'm not going to add bacon because there's bacon in the broccoli salad, but you certainly could fry up some bacon to top these with too. So I'm going to real easily, I'm cooking our onions very slow with some olive oil and butter, a little bit of salt, and just a very little bit of sugar. And those are just going to continue to cook on low and soften until the chicken breasts are done. The chicken is coming along beautifully. If you don't have an indoor grill, you could certainly just use a skillet or even your outdoor grill. I'm just allowing them to cook thoroughly. I did just baste them with some of the champagne dressing, and just makes them taste really yummy. At this point, the caramelized onions are finally done, and we're just waiting on the chicken. The chicken breasts are done. Look at those. Aren't those chicken breasts you'd like to eat? Those look delicious. I also toasted up our bread. I only toasted up Jackson one piece because he'll only have like half a sandwich. Here are our caramelized onions. I also sliced up a tomato. I have some mozzarella cheese, some very clean and dried baby spinach leaves, some Grey Poupon Country Dijon, and some mayo. So I'm going to get assembling these sandwiches and get ready for dinner. So I've constructed like half of my sandwich. I have the bread, which is a little mayo, the spinach, which, if you use spinach instead of lettuce, you'll get your kids to eat a little bit healthier, and they probably won't even know it. The chicken breast, I put down some mozzarella cheese, and then the onion. Now, if you're making a lot of these, you could certainly use the broiler, but I'm going to pop this plate in the microwave for about 30 seconds until that cheese is nice and melted. I also added tomato with more Dijon mustard and mayo on top of the bread, and I'm serving it up with a generous portion of the broccoli salad. This is such a wonderful spring or summer meal that isn't as heavy as some of those crock pot meals we've been having and some of the stews and soups. This brings us straight into summer, and it's delicious, easy to make, with the exception of letting the broccoli sit together for an hour. You can have this meal done in under 30 minutes, and I'm sure your family will love it. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions or comments below. You can check out the recipes on my blog at kjaggers.com. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this recipe or these recipes, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.